Yep.
Okay. Meeting open. Before we start, could I just make one amendment, which is after item 5, we want to cover some exciting developments at Portson's Playground, if that's all okay with everybody.
Certainly.
On item 6, Councillor Pavley and myself will be leaving the room, and Councillor Carr. Other than that, it's as agenda. Apologies for absence.
None received.
None received. Okay, the minutes, which we'll see. Just comprehensive. Has anybody got anything? I don't see any matters arising. Has anybody got any comments to make?
No.
In that case, could I propose that it's set up the record, the recommendations therein? Vote, please. Councillor Pavley, are you voting?
Yeah, sorry. Sorry. Trying to catch up.
Okay.
Now therefore, signature there, please.
Okay, members are reminded of the requirement to disclose any interest in relation to the items on the agenda when these are discussed. Item 4, budget and financial reports. Start with, there's a summary, the chairman's summary, which I've tried to give you where we are going with budget and budgetary control.
Sorry.
Is that your comment?
Tenor.
I thought I didn't quite right.
Tenor.
The only point to note is really, as I've said, that we hope to, as we're at the halfway point in the financial year, we hope to have a mini budget and look at where we are and make some amendments. But unfortunately, the lease with the harbour is still yet to be signed. It's now down with technicality over a land registry drawing, we hope. But it does have a significant effect on the finances, so it's best to leave it until Providence actually. So that's that. And the only other thing, I think, two positive bits of news is that you'll see that the interest earned at the halfway point exceeds the annual projections.
So we've, Tracy and I have concluded our investigations into finding a second investment area to put our money, and we've, after recommendations from other councils, and we've come across an organisation called the CCLA, which I dealt with some time ago. I knew it was charities. I knew the first two were charities and church. Never found out that LA actually stood for local authorities. And it's a investment fund which Harwich used. It returns last year to Harwich net 5.03% return, which is by far the best one we've heard. It's part of the FCA, so it has the £85,000 guarantee, and it has, I've got documents here for you, it's got over 15 billion invested in it from all the churches and people like that, so it's quite a rock solid investment programme. Tracy's filled in the forms to make an application so that we can confirm we can get it, but I'd like approval to actually use this as an investment tool and move some of our precepts into it once it's open.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant organisation. I'm a treasurer for a church and it's used by the main circuit, and I'm also a trustee on another trust, and we're on that as well, and the interest is brilliant.
Yeah.
And they're really good people to work with. So I'd like to second Chris.
Okay.
I think it's exceptional that this year's budgets and actuals have shown there's bank interest we're now receiving. I just think it's a really warm feeling that we're doing a good job there. Well done, Chris. So anything which increases our interest is obviously the best than the whole game.
Just so you know that we've invested it, it's an instrument tool, so they buy bonds and things like that.
Yes.
So it's not like a bank account, but it does give us pretty unlimited withdrawal capability.
If that's a bomb, does that mean it can go up and down?
It does mean it can go up and
So
down.
therefore there is risk.
There is a risk, yes, but the risk is no greater than it's a very conservative risk. I mean, the church don't put money into it.
Yeah, so because you can go for low, medium, high, and that sort of risk.
No, this is low risk.
Very low risk.
Low risk, yeah. And we're in the public asset investment sector, I think it was called, wasn't it? I can't remember the actual title of it now, which is one of the lower ones. The only one that was lower was the property, so you can invest in property, and that was at 2-point-something%.
Yeah, can I just ask a technical question on that then? Because can councils invest money in things which has a chance of going up and down?
This only does charities, local authorities,
Okay.
and churches. This is what this is. The CLA stands for local authorities at the end of it.
What
That's
does
what
the
it stands
CC stand for?
for. Sorry?
What does the
Churches and charities.
Oh.
This is called the Church, Charity and Local Authority Investment.
This is an interesting question.
I believe Essex County Council also invests in it. They've got quite big reserves. We ought to be prudent, of course, and we are being prudent, Chris, by acknowledging the fact that they can go up as well as down. We certainly don't want to be in the same situation as a certain council to the south of the county,
Yeah.
but I don't think we would be because they invested into something that was very volatile. And I'm guessing, in a way, we're almost at the mercy of the banks with their interest rates anyway, so that's another situation.
Yeah, if that's okay, I'd remember.
The alternative is we stay at Unity, which is 2.2%, and actually, may go down. Maybe the bank rate goes down.
It probably will.
Yeah. And I've not come across anybody that hasn't recorded, the people I've checked out with anyway, haven't recorded that they've made money out of it. Last year, they recorded here in the documentation, and Harwich, I think it was Harwich, Harwich reported they made 5% out of it. So,
I spoke to our internal auditor on the subject, and he fully endorsed this move.
Okay. Well, that's answered that.
Yeah.
So, in that case, good idea.
And it's bang on time because the precept is now with us, so just received the second half precept.
And it is at the moment sitting in Barclays, which is giving us less than 0.5%.
Yes.
I know ridiculous.
Is that okay on that one?
Yeah.
And the other one, just interesting to note that the training division, albeit in its infancy, that's exceeded its annual budget at the halfway point as well, so but that was great.
That should grow, obviously.
That really should.
The only other thing I think which you do need to note is the cost of legal fees, which are already 75% of the budget. But as you say here, we have got others in the pipeline.
Yeah.
That does need to be kept.
Yeah. There is, I think that there's a bit of a plan there, because if we sign the documents, then I think we can take some of the overheads from the first month's income for the board park to cover some overheads that will be involved in making that available.
Yes.
But we'll see if we let's get signed
that
first.
would be good. Yeah. Very good.
Okay. Okay, the financial monthly overview, which Tracy's going to outline.
You've all got a copy of the financial monthly overview as at the 30th of September. Just to confirm that income for September was £7,841.23. Expenditure was £31,822.66. And the bank balances were current account £1,520.86. The business premium account £3,067.52. Second business premium account £4,001.95. Instant access account £83,207.42. The current.
Sorry, Tracy.
Have I got that wrong?
Yeah.
Have I?
I think you said 4,000. I think it's 400.
£401.95.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, it's all right. Thank you.
which makes a total on all accounts of £89,778.94.
Is there any queries on that?
Can you say since that is now as a precept?
The precept came in October,
Yeah.
and this is obviously for the end of September.
C is the debtors list, which is looking a lot better than it has done in the past. Do you want to refer to the one that
Which one?
caravan?
Yeah, there is a debtor on there for the Lakeside Caravan Park, but we've worked out now that the old debtor has been paid off, incorrect information from Fenrice. So the debtor now for the £1,738.91 relates to the quarter June to September, which will be paid shortly.
So that was Fenrice's parting shot.
Yeah. They gave me the wrong dates.
Excellent.
The big one is obviously the Branksea Play Centre, but that's been discussed in part two.
Can I just ask a question on that? Did we go any further with the direct debit? Says that.
No, that's on my list to do.
They're all going to be subject to direct debits mandates, which will bring it in order. Is that okay on debtors list? Item 5, examining of accounts. Tracy?
Yeah, if I can have two councillors after the meeting, please, just to go through. There's 15 payments in the sum of £4,674.82 to be authorised. Please.
Can I just ask a question about that? Are they already on the computer? Or do you do that after we check them?
They're on the accounts package computer, yes.
Yeah, because I just wonder if I come and do that, or Dave does it, then we can, when we've signed them off with the other person, we can then actually do them at the same time.
Oh,
Be passed by council.
it's got to be passed by council. Then I've got to put them on the. They're not on the
right.
bank yet. No,
Oh,
I've got to raise the transactions on the bank.
okay. I was just
Thursday,
trying to
Friday.
make it a bit
Yeah,
quicker.
but that's got to be authorised by full council first.
Okay, then item 5A, effectively, Councillor Pavley has got some exciting news about Paulson's Playground.
Yes, well, you saw for those who were present, the application to put the base right way across. Just for confirmation, I have since spoken to
Is this for the wet pool?
So I've spoken to Chrissy Charles and had a very nice conversation with her, and she has said that she would suggest that using the £39,520.48p allocated to Section 106 Western Prom playground area fund and topping it up from the £64,980.35 for the open spaces would allow us to buy something in the region of £45,000 worth of film. So, and she's barring we fill the paperwork in properly, she's happy that we would do that. But she does say at the very end of her email, I must stress this is not a quick process and funds cannot be guaranteed until all governance has been signed off and our finance department has given the go-ahead. So the only problem I have with that is that some of these quotes are time limited. So we might go around that. So I've, well no I haven't. Terry has gone round and got quotations from 4 different organisations, although I have to say PlayQuip, who is one person that we use relatively often, has failed to quote. They quoted originally for half the pace, and when Terry went back and said, can you give us a quote for the whole 400 metres, which would be considerably larger quote, they've said, well, I haven't got time to quote yet. We did give them 48, 72 hours notice, and they haven't done it, whereas the other people have come back. There is a local organisation called Bounce Band, which apparently quite often is the subcontractor for the others to actually do the work. Their quotation came in at £45,000 plus VAT. There's another organisation based in Lancashire called DCM Services, which came in with a quotation of £48,000 plus VAT. And then finally, there was a quotation from the people that we've used before, that have done the original, which is based in Braintree, I think, called Abacus. And their quotation is £39,850 plus VAT, and they've given us a project discount and things like that. And I have to say, if we're happy with their original work, this seemed the obvious one to go for.
Did they put it in before then? Did they put the soft?
They've done the what's there before, yeah.
Oh, but that's
Yeah.
Chris Ferguson, could you just for the benefit of the public tell people what it's all about?
I beg your pardon, sorry. Do beg your pardon, I got carried away. We have I can't remember now, but £140,000 of Section 106 money that you would get when people build something, and they have to give the council so much money. And we're looking to spend it. And nowadays, that Section 106 money is very specific. So when they give it to the council, in the old days, they just give the money and the council did what they wanted to do with it. Nowadays, it's very specific. And we've got 39,000, the first number, which has been given to the council, the Section 106 money, specifically for the playground area on the Western Prom. Now, it's got quite a lot of toys and things like that on it, and playground equipment on it. But one of the things I've noticed, and I've tested this with some of the locals, it gets very muddy because only the actual area below the play instrument, whatever you call it, has got a rubberised finish. And so there was a strong suggestion from some of the parents up there, it'd be really nice if it was all covered, so we could play there in all weather, and our children won't get covered in mud. Plus the fact, when you have the mud, as somebody demonstrated to me, mud on your shoes, you walk on the rubber and it becomes as slippery as if it wasn't rubber. So with myself and Councillor Steady and Terry, the grounds manager, we looked at options about what we could do. We could do half of it, or we could do the whole thing, and I think the decision was let's finish it off and do that whole area inside the fence in rubberised flooring. And they're the quotes you've just heard to finish it off. And we will finance that not out of our own money but using the Section 106 money. The other thing to say about Section 106 money is it only stays there for a certain amount of time before they take it back if we don't use it. And some of that money actually has been there since 2014. So we're getting quite close to running that out.
Yeah.
So this application hopefully will use up that money, and for a reasonably good, I think a good purpose. I think it's one of the stars, or the jewel in one of the crowns, as it were, and I think it will just finish it off and allow it to be used all the way through the year.
Plus the fact we've got that kinetic wheel.
Oh yes, and we have a kinetic wheel, the famous kinetic wheel. That still hasn't been installed because when we actually went to install it, we discovered that it needed a certain surface around it. The suitable surface is this stuff, and it's pointless putting sort of 2 square metres or 5 square metres around it. So in the end, we said, why don't we do the whole thing? So that gets the wheel in place as well at the same time.
Thank you.
Yeah, very good.
Do you have any questions? Yes.
What about an activity centre on the recreation ground similar to Thornton or Bentley?
No, I don't have questions yet.
We'll come back to that. I just meant on this issue, that's where the money's come from.
So thanks for the forewarning, Malcolm.
Okay.
Anybody do anything to add on Paulson's playground?
I fully support it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And obviously we've got 3 good quotes there, and it seems like the lower one is the one which originally did it. So
Yeah, I don't think we should pick it because it's a low one.
No,
I mean, we know the reputation, we've seen his work.
exactly.
And I'm a great believer in using companies that are close to us.
Yes.
It's local, isn't it?
Yes.
And I always think when they're local.
Actually, I've just realised their head office is in Kent.
They're still closer than.
Still closer than Lancashire.
Yeah. Like good.
So we recommend approval.
Approved.
Yes.
I think we should add that it's got to be subject to funding and contract
Yeah, of course, yeah.
because these are just top.
One of my concerns about this is that I'm just trying to check if
there must be somewhere, and I haven't found it yet, but there must be a limitation on this quotation. And I'm just slightly concerned that we can get the process done within the quote. Because Terry's talking about maybe the best time to do it is in the spring. And of course the quotation might not stack up then.
Well,
We ask them.
contract prices are falling at the moment.
Right.
Construction industry. But we can ask them to guarantee for
Yeah.
and see what comes.
And just a word of advice, by the way, if anybody else does this, I've checked through the T's and C's of quite this, and I was telling Dave actually, do you know the difference between invitation and offer? So, Price Quip give you, I think it's Price Quip, give you the last T's and C's say this is an invitation and not an offer. And I thought, well, what's that about? And then I discovered, going to a lawyer friend of mine, that means that the quotation is the opening gambit and does not need to be a final price. So in fact, actually, it's not a quote at all. They're just saying, this is what we think it's going to cost.
We could haggle.
Yes, you can haggle.
Or they could haggle.
They can haggle. So it's just interesting, if you do get quotes and they say this is an invitation, it means it's an invitation to haggle. If it says it's an offer, then it is a real quote. And Plain Quip has got that in the T's and C's, and if you hadn't read them, you wouldn't have known.
So are you proposing that recommendation?
Yes, please, yes.
Second.
They need to vote.
I'll second it.
All agree?
Yeah.
Thank you, Councillor Carroll. Okay, that's good. We've now got leave the room and share the site.
Yes.
Oh,
You're
sorry.
staying, Jane.
Are we are coming back?
Yeah, we could.
Yeah, you'll come back to the rest of it.
Come back for public
There's
questions.
only two of us.
Have you got it?
The chorus is leaving.
Are you Cora?
But the meeting was,
Was.
Meeting also, which had the
We'll have to go through that.
Move on, come on, we're looking to see Dolby on
Right, we'll do this in record time. Item 6 is discretionary grant application from the Colne Yacht Club or Colne Water Activities Limited, as they're written down, trading as the Colne Yacht Club, and they are asking for 10% of the cost of the fireworks, which means they are actually asking for £500. I don't know what the members feel, but we do not have a budget for grants this year, and
Not
they
for
have,
any grants.
not for any grants,
No.
and they have actually stated the project, they've filled in the wrong part, it's how will the project go ahead if you do not receive the full amount requested, and they've actually put yes. So it sounds like the project will go ahead regardless of whether we give a grant. I feel £500 for fireworks is, one, is an awful lot of money. Two, I'd rather be giving money to something that is a bit more important, perhaps, is the word? I don't know, but it's up to you.
Yeah, personally, I think this is slightly becoming outmoded, and a lot of councils now are not supporting things like fireworks. If it was more for grants for teaching people to sail, for instance, and particularly young or disabled or whatever, I think that's more what the council should look at. I don't think it's our duty really to support ongoing year in, year out for fireworks. I know we've got the problems with now animals, and it's in a quiet zone. It's in there's lots of wildlife down there. They don't like fireworks at all, do they? I don't know. We tried quiet fireworks, if you remember, a few years ago, and asked them to only spend on quiet fireworks, but they went off with a fizz and a pop and didn't do much. To be honest, I just don't think it's something this council should go on.
I love fireworks.
Yeah.
I was going to say, can I just say that I think it's really lovely when they have the fireworks
Yeah.
down there.
Yeah.
But I don't see how we can support it if we haven't got any money in the grant fund.
No.
So, I think that's
It's a great
probably
shame,
the-
and I wish there but I don't think it's.
You know, to me, it's an old tradition.
Yeah. It's well liked. It's
But
lovely for the
we've
kids
also got
there.
their accounts. They've got money. I don't know what they make on the fireworks.
I move that we regretfully say we have no budget for it.
Well, that does seem to be a problem, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We give them-
Well, we've turned down so many other people, haven't we?
Yeah.
To then say yes, we'll find 500 for when we refused
Sorry, but no.
so many others.
Can we wish them luck with it though? Because I mean, it's a
Yeah.
really nice thing they
Yeah,
do.
It is, yeah.
But unfortunately, this year we can't subscribe to it.
Second one?
Yeah.
Better vote?
We just have a look at
And you're right, there is a new policy being
I'm sure it
released
will.
today.
I'm sure they will, but I'm quite
on
defending it.
fireworks.
I mean, it's not really something that
Do you want to get it back?
Oh yeah.
No, it's all right.
But it is, we can finish this, couldn't we, quite quickly?
We can talk. We want to talk about toilets.
Okay. I can't talk about toilets because I'm a member of the Fawcett Society. The Fawcett Society prides itself on its flushing manner. Right.
Can I join partway through?
Yeah. Fine line.
Oh, good. We've
Oh,
got
yeah.
a list.
Any other business?
Would invite any questions from the public?
Yes, I don't think this is the place, but regards to Parsons playground, I 100% agree with that. To me, from the museum right the way down the prom is your golden mile. You've got the caravan park, you've got the boat and lake, you've got the Lido, you've got the kids paddling pool, and at the end you've got that bloody mess. Now, this has been going on, what, 5 years? You know, why don't you just ban her from having that caravan, then she might get off the backside and do something. Because it is 60% of people in the museum from out of town. And we've seen them down the prom and what they get.
I just give you an update. We have been pushing very, very hard to bring the said person to round the table to get some sort of resolution, and we even threatened them with we're going to get a legal opinion. We have just received an email to say that they hope to come back to us this week with a date with the project manager and the said person to come round this table. So hopefully we are getting somewhere.
Any other questions?
Yeah, good. Yeah, congratulations to
Go on.
Children's Playground. I'd like to see the children's playground up the recreation ground upgraded as well. Going back to the activity centre for the rec, was it discussed at the team's meeting?
Yes, it was, and that's generally it's very supportive. And as I understand it, we're being excluded from the first round, but very keen to join in the second round. I think that it was very much oversubscribed. This is the play zone, yeah, but everybody's in support and enthusiastically behind it.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay.
Yes, sorry.
No toilets, Melbourne.
I think for councillors to be excluded from the different discussed topics, they'll be unable to vote on a topic. But I think at this parish level, it's gone out of control. The team really dictating policy to us.
Councillor Carson.
Thanks, Malcolm. It's a very valid point. We have been not instructed, but we've been guided by the district council on this, and we don't want to be upsetting them, so we don't get on horsewhip too much.
You're brother to them, in other words.
Well, not really, but there is a method that we can do to stop that, and that is to ask for a dispensation. And the plan is, at the moment, the members of the yacht club that you just heard had to leave the room will be approaching the relevant officer for a dispensation
Okay, thank you very much.
for the future. Hopefully she'll give us it.
Yeah.
Okay, so been closed